Hello and welcome to this video basically about my thoughts and Online Naughty's thoughts of the MW3, which is Modern Warfare 3 beta so far, right, before release. So we're going to talk a little bit about the gameplay. I do think the gameplay is a little bit better, but I do still feel that it's a copy and paste from obviously MW2 and Vanguard and also MW 2019. And one of the bad points of the gameplay is the spawns. I think that is one of the bad points. The spawns is atrocious. And obviously this is hard points, so the spawns are going to be all over the place, and I get that with hard point. But when you're playing a game mode like Domination or Team Deathmatch, and let's say all your players are over by the A flag, and let's say you've also capped the B flag, the only one is the C flag, but yet their players are literally spawning right beside you on the B flag or right beside you on the A flag, and you're covering like most of the corners. It's like to me they should be only spawning in their spawn. If they start off at the C spawn, unless it's actually been flipped and the spawns have been flipped, that's where they should continue to spawn. Otherwise, I don't think it should change. So that is one of the bad points of the gameplay. Like I said, the good point of the gameplay is the movement. The movement does feel a lot better. Like the sliding and stuff like that feels a lot better, especially with one of the perks. It's not really, it is a perk and it's not a perk. It's like a equipment perk, which is part of the boots. Yeah, you can basically slide, and when you slide, you get ADS, and it goes into a tactical like kind of stance. It's like just turns your gun to the side and you can shoot from the side. It looks really cool, so that's pretty decent. I like that you get the perks early. I do like that you get the perks early. I like when you spawn into the game, you get them perks early. You don't have to wait and wait and wait and wait for half the game. Maybe even nearly, like, maybe the game's nearly finished, and then you get your last perk. I don't like that system. I thought that system was stupid, and I'm pleased it's gone. I'm pleased that you get your perks, your gear, all your equipment early. Sound, I do think the sound does sound really good. I do like that they've actually added again a gear which you can amp up the sound. It's like amplify, but they've also added a set of boots in, so if you want to run around, your your footsteps are kind of more silent, so that's a good thing. Gear and equipment, I do like what they've done with some of the gear and equipment. They've added some of the known perks that we know of into some of the gear and equipment. I would like to see maybe a stim. So like if you, I don't know, like obviously this is just a beta. It might be there when the full release of the game comes out. I would like to see a stim so you can stim yourself up if you get shot, so you can have that fast heal. I would like to see that. So again, it might come into the full release of the game. So yeah, with some of the stuff with the boots and also the chest pieces that they've got into the game. I do like what they've done with some of the chest pieces. There might be more in the game to come in full release, and there might be more later on down the line when the game goes into full flourish, and they add more, maybe add more for like a DLC or in Battle Pass or something like that. We never know. But I do like what they're doing with that. Same with the boots. I do like what they're doing with that. Another thing is weapons and balance. I do think some of the weapons are balanced, and I do think some of the weapons are good. But I do have a bad point about it. And it does go a little bit with the balance. I think SMGs, by the way, this is Online Naughty, this is her gameplay. This is with the MCW which is the ACR, basically. So, yeah, with the weapons and balance, one of the things that I don't like with the weapons and balance, and even Online Odyssey touched on this as well, is some of the weapons have zero recoil. This weapon that she's using here, literally, is like a laser sight. It's like being an accurate stormtrooper. Imagine if a stormtrooper was accurate with those lasers. This is what they would be like. No recoil, every single shot on target, and every time Luke, Han Solo, all them lovely Star Wars people would obviously not be here. So yeah. Maps. Sorry, I'll continue with the weapons. Because another thing with the weapons is, I think the SMGs should be more deadly at the close quarters than what some of them are at mid to even one of them's good at long range ish. Like, I've seen somebody shoot me from here because I played this map also, and I had a completely different weapon. I think I was using the sniper. Somebody was in this building. They shot me from here, where that person is, or where the bin is, where they just ran there. And I'm like, and they had an SMG, and I'm like, they had this Stalker or something, and there was a Stalker SMG, and I'm like, are you kidding me? From there? So yeah, I do think the SMGs need to be more balanced, so they're very good at close quarters combat than what they are at mid to long range. I don't want to see everyone running around with an SMG and it being like what it was in World War II, where it was just everything you used was an SMG. I was sad to see that there was no bolt action sniper rifle. There was actually one in the beta, but the thing is, it wasn't unlocked. It was locked and you had to be like a higher level. Another thing with that I didn't like, and also I think other people didn't like this about the last year's Call of Duty, and I think I don't know if they did it in 2019. I'm not sure, but especially with last year's Call of Duty, was the weapons. Things with the weapons where you have to use one weapon to unlock other attachments for another weapon. That needs to go. Like, I like it when Treyarch used to do a weapon, and when they did a weapon, they go, right, you've got to get this weapon to level 10, level 15, level 20, whatever level. That's your max level, but you unlock an attachment every 2 levels or something like that. I like that system that they did it like that. So I don't like how they're doing it now, like where they're like, okay, you want to unlock this weapon, but you want to unlock this attachment for this weapon, well, you've got to go over and use this weapon. And it might be a weapon that you might not even like. It could be a sniper rifle that you maybe never, ever going to use. And it's like, I don't want to use this weapon. Now, I'm not saying that nobody will ever not use, obviously, all the weapons to try and get them platinum, diamond, fluorescent pink, chromatosed, whatever. I'm not saying like that people are not going to use the weapons not to get them what they need to get for the camos. But there is some people who do just use certain type of weapons and they don't want to use all the weapons. I do wish that semi-auto, high caliber semi-auto rifles, as they got as some sniper rifles, were only classed as marksman's rifles. I do wish that all bolt action rifles were only classed as sniper rifles. So there was one of the sniper rifles which in there was a semi-auto rifle. I do wish it was a marksman's rifle. Like, I do wish it was less damage also, and it'd be known as a marksman's rifle. But it's not a deal breaker. It's actually a good weapon, actually. But I think some of the weapons, some of them can be sniper rifles and some should be marksman's rifles. Another thing is, I think the battle rifles need to be burst weapons. I don't think they should be full auto weapons. I don't mind the single semi-auto single shot, but I do think that they should be burst weapons. Like the Swordfish was in Black Ops 3 and whatever. I can't remember the other weapons. Was it the AUG or something? Yeah, I think it was the AUG. I think I'm not sure. But yeah, they should be burst weapons. I'm trying to think. The player icons, and the tags above their heads, they need to be bigger. That's one of the things that they need. They need to have them bigger. But I also think that whatever color you pick for your enemy color, or your teammate color, or your squad mate color, you should put an outline of the, not too thick, not too thin, an outline. So when you hover over them, you can tell that that's an enemy, right? I think that should, because if this was Black Ops doing this, let's say this was Treyarch doing this, I would be able to see who that player was, right? And I'd be able to see if that was an enemy or a teammate. But there's been many times where you shoot at somebody and you're like, oh, that's a teammate. Or you'll not shoot at somebody, like, oh, that's an enemy. And it's frustrating, but I do think you should put an outline, very thin outline, one which is noticeable, but I think an outline would help. I really, really do. Minimap placement. I don't like the minimap placement. When you play in a game, and this is actually scientifically proven, when you actually look up a lot, it's easier to look down at something than what it is to look up. So when you're playing a game and you're thinking and you're looking at your minimap, you get more eye strain from looking up because your eyes are trying to, like, look up. But if you're looking down, it's like your eyes are like, they're falling, dropping. So it's a lot easier. I think the minimap should be in the bottom. I would say, yeah, in the bottom left. I think that's where the minimap should be. I do like the minimap that they had in Black Ops 4 as well. I think that was a good minimap. But I think my perfect position, this is me personally, if I could put my minimap in the center, at the bottom in the center, I would love that. If I could put it in the bottom of the center and make it a circle, and obviously when you're going to aim down sight, it's not gonna hurt your aim down sight, because your aim down sight, it's going to be in the middle of the screen. Your minimap's going to be at the bottom in the in the middle. That's how I would like it to be, but or in the bottom left at least. I think it should definitely be on the bottom. Maps. I think the maps are too big. I know these are all copies from all old Call of Duties for the good old pensioners who are now in their 60s and 70s, and they're like, oh yeah, back in my day I remember this map. Oh, this was one of my best. Oh, sunny boy. Oh, I remember this map, young whippersnapper. To me, that's laziness. I'm sorry. It's just laziness. I really think that you're just being lazy at this point. I know they are top quality maps from the day and age of when people used to like a lot of the Call of Duties, and I'm not saying that all the Call of Duties back then are rubbish or bad or were bad or rubbish. I never played them, so I can't comment on them. Right? I did try MW3 once, the old one. I wasn't a fan, but that's me. I just wasn't a bit of a fan. And I did start off with Black Ops 2, and that's why I do like Treyarch more. Now, I have heard that Treyarch possibly could be doing it for about 3-4 years in a row running. If they do that, I would like to see them not call it Black Ops, like do individual games for each year and do Black Ops 5, 6, 7, 8, blah, blah, blah. I would like to see them do one standalone game, build up on it for the long term, and maybe call it like something like Black Ops Tactical, Black Ops Revenge, Black Ops Ultimatum, Black Ops something which defines your game, as this is a long-standing title and it's going to be a long-standing game. I would like to see that. So you can build up on it for the future, and you can maybe make this game run for not just 1, not just 2, not just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe all the way to 10 or maybe 15 years. I'm not saying that you are going to make it run that long. I'm just hypothetically speaking, you could maybe make this game run for a long time. I do know that some of the how can I put it? Some of the stuff that you put into the game actually, like, over time it'll build up and build up, and you might need to delete stuff to put new stuff in. My biggest problem in this whole game, and I'll keep saying this for as long as it's not fixed, servers and connection. Here in the UK, we used to have servers in the UK, right? We always used to have servers in the UK. I don't know when they removed the servers from the UK, but there was a point when they removed the servers at the UK because they said it was too costly. They moved the servers. Now, I've got a Netdoom router so I can see where the servers are and I can ping to the closest server. The closest server for me is all the way in Lithuania. I think it's Lithuania and Estonia. They're the closest servers for me. I want to see the servers back in the UK. So, yeah. This has been some of the good points and the bad points of Call of Duty. Maybe more bad points. I would like to see a lot of fixes and a lot of changes in the future. So, yeah. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. Thank you all for watching. Thank you. And goodbye.